an industry regional data dissemination forum. So for us to officially start our program, I will introduce first myself. I'm City Asmania Cornell, Statistical Specialist 2 of the PSA BARMM RSSO. And together with us also are the staffs from the SOCI Department of the PSA RSSO. So for us to start, can I ask everyone to please stand for the opening prayer and the singing of the national anthem. Kasabay na rin po ang ating BARMM. May I call in Sir Noronisa prayer.
Let's pray. Rahman Rahim. In the name of Allah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the mankind. Rahman Rahim, the infinitely good, the all merciful. Malik Yawmiddin, master of the day of judgment. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for. Ihdina siratal mustaqim, guide us on a straight path. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim, the path of those who have received your grace. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin, not the path of those who have brought down wrath, nor of those who wander astray. O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we offer everything to you during this program. May we ask for your blessing that the activities set for this undertaking activity will be successful and effective. May we also retain the invaluable knowledge and learning experiences that we derive from this activity. We pray that you bless all the committees in charge, that they fulfill their task responsibly, that the objectives they have set may be all achieved. Your generous blessing would mean the success of this program. May we be living witnesses of your genuine love through the implementation of the knowledge acquired through this activity. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, grant us good in this world and good in the hereafter, and save us from the chastisement of the fire. Amen.
Amen.
The next part of our forum will be the delivery of welcome remarks to be delivered by none other than the OIC Chief Administrative Officer of RSSO BARMM, Ma'am Noronisa Macadadaya.
Mobile yan sabi. Mobile. Late updates sa mobile. Mahirap kumuha pa marami.
My courtesy to our handsome and energetic Regional Director, Engr Akan D, Tula, the Chief Statistical Specialist of the Statistical Operation Coordination Division, Sir Mahmur H, the OIC of SS of PC Maguindanao, Mr. Naldo Pindaliday, the representative from the sample establishment and the member of the media, my colleagues and PSA, and all present on this forum, including the online participants. Good morning and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is my pleasure to honor to welcome you to the 2022 Annual Survey of Philippine Business and Industry Regional BARMM Regional Data Dissemination Forum. We know that the Philippine Statistics Authority, as a central statistical agency of the Philippine government, on the primary data collection and the generation of various statistics, which include the economic statistics from the data on the business industry. These statistics are useful in the formulation of socio-economic development plans and programs and policies of the government. And we know that also the PSA is mandated to disseminate the data that will be generated to the survey. Kaya ngayon, nandito tayo ngayon para dito sa dissemination forum. And also, we extend our gratitude to all the managers, the financial unit of the sample establishment and BARMM for their active participation in the survey of business and industry and for submitting their data on time. Because that is an important that data will be submitted on time so that we can release a timely statistical data. The surveys conducted by the Philippine Statistics Authority will not be successful without the unwavering support from the sample establishment. And then, thank you very much to all of you. Mabuhay kayo, mabuhay ang PSA BRM.
Thank you very much. Mabuhay ang BARMM. Thank you sa ating mga sample establishments. Ang sabi nga ni Ma'am, wala po tayong response kung wala po ang ating mga establishments. Again, thank you very much. So the next part of our forum will be the message to be delivered by none other than our OIC Regional Director, Sir Engr Akan D. Tula.
Thank you so much, us. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'in. Salatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam wa ba'd. My dear colleague, dear public servants, valued stakeholders, establishment owner or representative, our dear respondents, both online and on-site participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Happy New Year and good morning. It is an honor to be with you today in this 2020 Annual Survey of Philippine Business and Industry Regional Data Dissemination Forum. In spite of your hectic schedules, alam po namin, hiniram lang namin yung oras niyo ngayon, but then, pinaunlakan po ninyo yung aming invitasyon. Your attendance here today is much appreciated. For the final results of the annual survey of Philippine business and industry showed the total establishments in the formal sector of our economy. It is also one of the designated statistical activities of the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA. Data collected from the survey provides information on the levels, structure, performance, and trends of economic activities of the formal sector in the entire country in the year 2020. It aims to generate essential statistics for economic planning and analysis that would aid our lawmakers, businessmen, and policymakers for a better and appropriate development designs or interventions to that matter. Among the data collected in 2020 ASPBI are employment, revenue, expense, sales from e-commerce transactions, capital expenditures, book value of fixed tangible and intangible assets, the average capacity utilization rate, and inventory. But for those who have still doubt, for this might be used for the purpose of taxation, investigation, or regulation, it is time and again to reinstate our confidentiality clause in Section 20 of Republic Act number 10625 that all the information collected shall be kept strictly confidential, and we adhere to the definition and principles of RA 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012. It is timely, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the personnel involved in the conduct of the said survey. Much more to our respondents who diligently and religiously filled up the appropriate forms given to you by our staff. Your responses, timely submission, and persistence are what make this survey a realization. We are hoping for the consistencies in supporting the certificate of the PSA for your part of our growing economy. With much appreciation, I remain. Again, thank you very much and good morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Sir Akan. So next will be a AVP or audio-visual presentation presented by the Central Office para sa ating ASPBI background. Kindly present.
The Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, presents the annual survey of the Philippine business and industry. The PSA is the central statistical authority of the Philippine government on primary data collection through census surveys and other data collection methods. One of the establishment-based surveys conducted by PSA is the annual survey of the Philippine business and industry, or ASPBI. The ASPBI is usually conducted a year after the reference year, and its inception began in 1956 under the name Annual Survey of Manufacturers, or ASM. In 1965, the survey was renamed as the Annual Survey of Wholesale and Retail Trade. It was year 1970 when the survey was renamed as the Annual Survey of Establishments. Later in 2001, the survey was renamed to Annual Survey of Philippine Business and Industry, or ASPBI. This was based on NSCB Resolution Number 3, Series of 2000. The 2020 ASPBI is the 48th in the series of Annual Survey of Establishments in the country. The ASPBI is one of designated statistical activities of the PSA that generates essential statistics for economic planning and analysis. It collects and generates information on the levels, structure, performance, and trends of economic activities of the formal sector of the economy. Specifically, the survey aims to do the following: collect and generate detailed information on employment, revenue, expense, inventories, tangible fixed assets, intangible assets, and total assets of the establishment. generate estimates for economic indicators such as value added, average compensation, and other indicators which are necessary to evaluate the performance of industries and at the national and regional levels. Generate statistics from micro, small, and medium establishments, or MSME, where identification of MSME is based on total employment. Gather pertinent information for the updating of the sampling frame of establishment-based surveys. Survey results will be used specifically in constructing national and regional income accounts of the Philippine economy, formulating and monitoring plans or policies in the attainment of national and regional economic goals, determining and comparing regional economic structures and performances, analyzing economic performance of MSMEs, conducting market research and feasibility studies, updating the sampling frame for establishment-based surveys. The surveys conducted by the PSA are governed by the Public Act 10625, known as the Philippine Statistical Act of 2013, which was approved by law on September 12, 2013. The Section 25 of RA 10625 states the responsibility of the respondent to provide truth and complete answers to the statistical inquiries. Section 26 stipulates the confidentiality of information collected from establishments, while Section 27 states the penalties imposed for non-compliance to the requirements of the law. The unit of enumeration of ASPBI is the establishment. An establishment is defined as the following: economic unit under single ownership or control, under a single legal entity, in one or predominantly one kind of economic activity, and at a single place location. Establishments are classified according to economic organization, legal organization, employment size, industrial classification, and geographic area. The economic organization or EO relates to the organizational structure or role of establishment in the organization. The following are the types of EO. Single establishment, branch only establishment and main office, auxiliary unit other than main office. The legal organization or LO refers to legal form of economic entity that owns the establishment and provides the legal basis for ownership. The following are the types of LO. Single proprietorship, partnership, corporation. It can either be a public corporation or a private corporation. Government corporation. This corporation organized for a private aim, benefit, or purpose with the government as the majority stockholder. Stock corporation, non-stock, non-profit corporation, cooperative. Others. This refers to an organization not classified in any of the above classification. The industrial classification is determined by the activity from which it derives its major income or revenue. The 9th Philippine Standard Industrial Classification, or PSIC, is utilized to classify economic units according to their economic activities. Establishments are also classified by size. The size of the establishment is being determined by its total employment. Total employment refers to the total number of persons who work in or for the establishment. Micro-establishments are those with total employment of 1 to 9. On the other hand, small establishments are those with total employment of 10 to 99. Medium establishments are those with total employment of 100 to 199. Large establishments are those with total employment of 200 and over. Establishments are also classified by geographic area using the Philippine Standard Geographic Code, or PSGC. In the PSGC used for the 2019 and 2020 ASPBI, there were a total of 17 regions, 81 provinces, 146 cities, 1,488 municipalities, and 42,045 barangays in the country. The ASPBI covers establishments in the formal sector of the economy, ever engaged in any of the 18 sections classified under the 2009 Philippine Standard Industrial Classification of PSIC. The formal sector is comprised of the following: corporations and partnerships, cooperatives and foundations, sole proprietorship and deployment of 10 and over, single proprietorship with branches. Furthermore, the formal sector of the economy was considered in all establishments with total employment of 10 and more, and all establishments with total employment of less than 10, except those establishments with economic organization of single establishment and legal organization of legal proprietorship. How are sample establishments selected? The ASPBI uses the stratified systematic sampling with region and industry as domain. The stratification variables are industry. Stratum is the first stratification variable, and employment is the second stratification variable. The ASPBI utilizes 7 types of questionnaires which will capture data of sample establishments engaged in the 18 sectors of the economy. ASPBI Form 1 is being utilized for the agriculture, forestry, and fishing sector. The ASPBI Form 2 is used for the mining and quarrying and manufacturing sectors. ASPBI Form 3 is utilized for the electricity, gas, steam, and air conditioning supply, water supply, sewerage, waste management, and remediation activity sectors. The ASPBI Form 4 is used for the construction sector. ASPBI Form 5 is utilized for the wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles, and motorcycle sector. Form 6 is used for establishments engaged in financial and insurance activity sector. And lastly, Form 7 is used for the business and services activity sector. In line with the enhancement of the ASPBI processes and to make the submission of reports hassle-free and more convenient, establishments are given multiple options on how they can respond to the survey. The 2020 ASPBI had a response rate of 87.2% for a total of 33,587 establishments responded to the survey. The whole ASPBI operation consists of the following: preparatory activities. A PSA Central Office is the lead office in the preparatory activities pertaining to the whole survey operation. Distribution of survey questionnaires. The ASPBI questionnaires are being distributed by PSA field staff to sample establishment for proper accomplishment of report. Collection of survey questionnaires. Processing of survey questionnaires.
Once the accomplished survey questionnaires are collected, validation and updating activities are being done prior to the generation and analysis of statistical data.
Data dissemination. The statistical data generated for this survey is being released to the public in the form of special releases, forums, and publication. Also, data are being disseminated through publications. Publications are prepared by sectors and being printed and kept for future references. Meanwhile, e-copies of publications are posted at the PSA website. Statistical data for ASPBI and other surveys of the PSA can also be found on the PSA OpenStat portal. openstat.psa.gov.ph as shown on the screen. On behalf of the PSA, we are glad to inform you that your data is of great contribution in generating essential statistics that will be used for planning and policy formulation by the government and the private sectors. Your cooperation is highly appreciated. Thank you for your usual support.
That was a very informative presentation. Next would be the presentation of 2020 ASPBI Regional Data Preliminary Results to be presented by none other than the Chief Statistical Specialist of the SOCTI Division of RSSO BARMM, Sir Mahmur H. Sarael.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kung na-notice nyo kanina, tinutulak ko yung kape. Kasi pag iinom ako ng kape, lalo pa akong kanta. Anyway, my courtesy to our OIC Regional Director, Engr Akan D, our Class D Chief, Manor, and of course our CSS from Bilang, Naging, our partners from the media, our sample establishment, respondents, participants both on-site and online, my colleague from the Philippine Statistics Authority and other government agency. Again, good morning. I am pleased to present to you the highlights of the 2020 Annual Survey of Philippine Business and Industry results, as mentioned by Asma Mahmur H, the Chief of the Statistical Operation and Coordination Division. To begin with, the outline of my presentation are, I'll be presenting the number of establishments at the bar, the total number of employment, the compensation, the revenue, and the expense or expense. The annual survey of Philippine business and industry, or the ASPBI, the data are disaggregated into both national or by broad industry group, by sector, by MSME, and then by region. There are three broad industry groups, and these are the agriculture, manufacturing, and services. And under agriculture, these are the sectors, or these are agriculture, forestry, and fishing. While in the industry, we have the mining and quarry, the manufacturing, the electricity, gas, steam, and air conditioning supply, the water supply, sewerage, waste management, and remediation activities, and construction. Under services, we have the wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, transportation and storage, accommodation and food service activities, information and communication, financial and insurance activities, the real estate activities, the professional, scientific, and technical activities, the administrative and support service activities, education, arts, entertainment, and recreation, human health and social work activities, and other service activities. According to the total employment, this was also, you have also seen this in the video, For micro establishment, a total number of employment of from 1 to 9 is considered micro establishment. For a small establishment, the total number of employment is for 10 to 99. For 100 to 199 is considered as medium establishment, while 200 and over, total employment is considered as large establishment. The total number of establishment in BARMM in 2019 is equal to 836, while in 2020, there are 764 establishments in the formal sector of economy, a decline of negative 8.6% in the growth rate. In terms of share by broad industry group, services has the highest number with 648 or 84.8%, while industry is 68 or 8.9%, and agriculture is 48 with 6.3%. The top three highest sectors are the following. Number one, or the top one, is the wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycle, with 206 number of establishments, or 27% share. The top two is the financial and insurance activities with 168 number of establishment with or 22% share to the total. While the top three is the accommodation and food services with 167 number of establishment or 21.9% share. The graph shows the contributory to the downward trend by broad industry group. You notice that the agriculture, there is no changes in 2019 to 2020, meaning it remained constant from 48 number of establishment in 2019 and 2020 is also 48 establishment. While in industry, a difference of 3 or a decrease of 3 from 71 in 2019 to 68 in 2020, while a difference of 69 in services with 717 in 2019 and 2020 is equal to 648. The top 3 contributors to the downward trend by sector are the following: wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, with 253 in 2019 and 206 in 2020, with a difference of 47. While in financial and insurance activities is 174 total number of establishment in 2019 with 168 in 2020 with a difference of 6. While accommodation and food service activities is 79 in 2019 while in 2020 is 74 with a difference of 5. In terms of share, the MSME, the micro has the highest share with 417 or 54.6%, followed by small establishment with 333 or 43.6%, and next is the large establishment is 0.9% or 7 number of establishment, and then the medium is the same 7 with 0.9% share. The total employment in 2019 is 13,855, while in 2020 there were 12,829 total workers, or a decline of negative 7.4% in terms of growth rate. Of the 12,829 total employment, 94.2% is paid employees, while 5.8% is unpaid employees. In terms of share by broad industry, services is equal to 8,561 total employment, or 66.7%, while industry is a total employment of 2,522 or 19.7% share, while agriculture is 1,746 total employment, or with the smallest share of 13.6%. The slide shows the top 3 highest sectors. In terms of total employment, the top 1 is education with a total employment of 3,935 or 30.7 share to the total. While the top 2 is the wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles with 1,000 875 total employment or 14.6% share. While agriculture, forestry, and fishing is equal to 1,746 total employment or 13.6% share. The graph here shows the annual increase or decrease by broad industry group. Same thing, the agriculture remained, no? The total in 2019 with the total number of employment 1,726, no? Then in 2020 1,746. So there is an increase of 20 with a growth rate of 1.1%. While industry declined by negative 0.43% from 2,265 to 2,635 in 2019 to 2,522 in 2020 with a difference of 113. While for services, a negative 0.8% growth rate was observed with a 9,494 total employment in 2019 to 8,561 total employment in 2020 with a difference of 933. Next, here is the top 3 contributors to the downward trend by sector. The accommodation and food services with 1,252 total employment in 2019 to 783 in 2023. With a difference of negative 469. For wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, in 2019, a total employment of 2,322 to decrease by negative 447 no, to 1,875 in 2020. While for manufacturing, in 2019, a total employment of 1,844 and 1,529 in 2020 with a difference of negative, or with a difference of 350. In terms of share, the small establishment has the highest share with 7,711 total employment or 60.1% of the total, followed by micro establishment with 2,195 total employment or 17.1% share. Next is the large establishment with 1,933 total employment or 15.1% of the total share. And last is the medium establishment with 992 total employment with 7.7% share. In terms of total compensation in 2019, BARMM is equal has 346,770,000 or approximately 1.3 billion in 2019, while in 2020 is 1,558,289,000. With a growth rate of 15.7%. In terms of share by total compensation, Services has the highest share with 811,923 or 52.1%, while industry is 32.2% and agriculture is 15.7%. As to the top three highest score in total compensation, still this is in terms of million. Education as 412 or approximately 4 billion. Then administrative and support service activities is 2 billion or 15.7%, while electricity, gas, steam and air conditioning supply is 231 or 2.3 billion or 14.9%. The annual increase or decrease trade by broad industry group for agriculture in 2019, you have 84,000, that's 8.4 billion in 2019, increased by 1.59 to 2.4, approximately 2.4 billion in agriculture. In industry, we have 388 million, and then 502 million in 2020. And while services is 873 million, decreased by 61 million 410 to 811 million 923,000 in 2020. For the top three contributors to the downward trend by sector, wholesale and retail price, retail trade, repair or motor vehicles and motorcycle. In 2019, 198,587,000, with a difference of 69,248,000. In 2020, we have 129,339,000. Then while transportation and storage in 2019 is 12,081,000, while in 2020, 6,319,000. A decline of, or a difference of 5,762,000. While education is equal to 417,467,000 in 2019. In 2020, 412,170,000 in 2020, with a difference of 5,297,000. Next. In terms of share, small establishment is equal to 57.8% of the total share, or 901,280,000. All right. And then for large establishment is 265,180,000 with 17.1% share, while for medium enterprise is 13.4% or 209,282,000, while for micro establishment is 82,545,000 or 11.7% share. The average annual compensation is 105,307 peer paid employee in 2019, while in 2020 is 128,987 peer paid employee, which is an increase of 28.5% in terms of growth rate. By broad industry, agriculture is 150,176 pesos, while industry is 210,180 pesos, while services is equal to 100,660 pesos. The slides here shows the top 3 highest sectors in terms of average annual compensation in 2020 per paid employee. The top one is information and communication, with an average annual compensation of 111,895, followed by manufacturing with 148,917, and the third is the financial and insurance activities with 176,144. In terms of contribution to the upward or downward trend by broad industry group, agriculture accelerated by 206.4% growth rate, which is from 49,008 in 2019 to 150,176 in 2020, with a difference of 101,168. While industry accelerated by 38.3%, with 151,956 in 2019 to 210,180 in 2020. While services decelerated by 2% in terms of growth rate, 2,697 in 2019 to 100,660 in 2020. The top 3 contributors are the following: the financial and insurance activities, with 137,166 in 2019, increased by 38.977 in 2020, or 176,144. Manufacturing increased by 36,450. In 2019, it was observed 112,467 to 148,917 in 2020. While for information and communication service, 79,426 in 2019, increased by 32,469, or 111,895 in 2020. By MSME, it was observed that the largest one is the medium, the highest is the medium establishment with 210,970, followed by the large establishment with 137,186. And next is the small establishment with 125,091 pesos, and the last is the micro establishment with 93,469 pesos. As to the total revenue in BAR, the BAR has an 8.64 billion in 2019, accelerated by 8.8% growth rate, which is equal to 9.5 billion or in 2020. The share by broad industry group, as to in terms of total revenue, industry is 57.2%, while services is 29.9%, and agriculture is 12.9%. The top three highest sector in terms of revenue, one is manufacturing with 29.2% share, electricity, gas, steam, and air conditioning supply with 25.7% share, while wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles with 15.6% share. The annual increase or decrease by both broad industry group, agriculture accelerated by 167.3% growth rate from 457,592 in 2019 to 1,223,332. And industry, in 2019, 4,589,550 to 5,404,585 in 2020. While services accelerated by 22.4% growth rate, the difference of 814,735. With 3 million, by the way, our figures in thousand, meaning that is 3 billion. I'm sorry, but with 3,637,268,000, and then in 2020, it's 2,822,533,000. May 1,000 pesos pala sa gilid. Sorry. Next. The top three contributors to the downward trend by sector for wholesale and retail prices, retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles in 2019 is 2,279,383,000, decreased by 808,426,000, which is in 2020 is only 1,470,597,000. For manufacturing, decrease of 243,730,000 has been observed, no? With 2,999,944,000 in 2019 to 2,756,206,000 in 2020. While education decreased by 51 million with 606 million in 2019 to 555 million in 2020. In terms of share, small establishment has the highest share with approximately 4.8 billion or 51.6%, followed by large establishment with approximately 2 billion with 21.3%, while the medium establishment is around 1.58 billion with 16.7%, and micro establishment is 975 million or 10.3% share. For the total expense in 2019 and 2020, in 2019, the total expense is 8 billion 439,950,000 to 8,904,199,000 with a 5.5% growth rate. In terms of share, industry is 60.9% with 5,529,214,000 because we have meron pa lang in 1,000 pesos hindi ko nakita, no? Then for services, 2,436,498,000 or 27.4% share, while agriculture is 1,039,487,000 or 11.7% share. The top three highest sector are the following. Top one is manufacturing with 31.4% share, followed by electricity, gas, steam, and air conditioning supply with 26.9% share, and the wholesale and retail trade or repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles with 15.2% share. As to the annual decrease or increase by broad industry group, agriculture in 2019 is 375,206,000, increased to 1,038,487,000 with a growth rate, with a positive growth rate of 176.8% or a difference of 663 million. For industry, in 2019 is 4,792,458,000, increased to 5,429,240,000 in 2020, with a growth rate of 13.3% and an increase of 636,756,000. While services, a decline of 25.5% growth rate in 2019 with 3,272,286,000 to 2,436,498,000 in 2020. These are the top three contributors to the downward trend by sector. The wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles is 2,123,635,000 in 2019 to 1,353,212,000 in 2020. With a difference of 770 million. While manufacturing is around 3.4 billion it's around 3.4 billion in 2019 to 796,123,000 in 2020, with a difference of 633,579,000. While information and communication in 2019 is around 55 million to 9 million in 2020, with a difference of 45,515,000. Next. As to the share, a small establishment is 50.9% share with 4.53 billion, followed by the large establishment with 2.22 billion or 24.9%. Next is the medium establishment with 1.36 billion or 15.2%, while the micro establishment is around 0.8 billion or 9.0% share to the total. The next presentation is for the revenue per peso expense. In 2019, the revenue per peso expense is 1.03 to 1.06 in 2020. For every peso spent, a corresponding revenue of 1 peso 0.06 was generated, or 3.1% growth rate from 2019 to 2020. In terms of my broad industry group, agriculture is 1.18, industry is 1.00, while services is 1.16. The top three highest sectors are the following for the revenue per peso expense. Top one is the financial and insurance activities with 1.47. Next is administrative and support service activities with 1.40, and accommodation and food service activities with 1.39. As to the contributory to the upward or downward trend by broad industry group, agriculture contracted by negative 0.04 with 1.22 in 2019 to 1.18 in 2020, while industry accelerated by 0.04 from 0.96 in 2019 to 1.00 in 2020, while services accelerated by 0.05 from 1.11 in 2019 to 1.16 in 2020. The top three contributors to the downward trend by sector are the following: for professional, scientific, and technical activities, 1.39 in 2019 to 1.18 in 2020, or a decline of 0.21%. While for information and communication, a decline also of 0.21 from 1.00 in 2019 to 0.79 in 2020. And then for electricity, gas, and air conditioning, decrease of 0.16 from 1.17 to 1.01. These are the revenue per peso in terms by the MSMA. The largest or the highest is the micro establishment with 1.22, followed by medium establishment with 1.17. Next is the small establishment with 1.08, and then the large establishment, which is 0.91 or revenue per peso expense in 2020. In summary, the agriculture registered the only increase in total employment, total compensation, average annual compensation per paid employee, the total revenue, and then the total expense. While industry posted the only increase in the total compensation, average annual compensation per paid employee, total revenue, total expense, revenue per peso expenses, while services recorded the only increase NJW per peso expenses. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sir Mahmur H. Next would be the AVP and how to accomplish the ASPBI questionnaire online. Please kindly present the video.
The Philippine Statistics Authority and the Annual Survey of Philippine Business and Industry, or ASPBI. The Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, is the central statistical authority of the Philippine government on primary data collection through censuses, surveys, and other data collection methods. One of the industry-based surveys conducted by PSA is the Annual Survey of Philippine Business and Industry. In participation to the conduct of ASPBI, the PSA is encouraging sample establishment to use the online questionnaire in submitting data. This online system allows the sample establishment to submit the data online anytime at their own pace. In accomplishing the ASPBI online questionnaire, here are the basic steps you need to follow. First step, register. Second step, accomplish. Last step, submit. First step, register. On your web browser, type https://spbi.psa.gov.ph. Click the link Proceed to Online Questionnaire. A login page will appear. Click Register Here button. Register using your 14-digit ECN and your establishment's official email address. Establishment Control Number, or ECN, is a unique alphanumeric character which is found in the address stub of the physical questionnaire provided to you by the PSA personnel. Then click Submit button. A system-generated password will be sent to your registered email address. Second step, accomplish. Supply your unique ECN and the password provided to your registered email address, and click the Login button. You will be redirected to this window. Fill out all the data fields that require entries up to the certification portion. The major data items for the ASPBI are as follows. General information about the establishment, total employment, total revenue, sales from e-commerce transactions, subsidies received from the government, total expense, capital expenditures, sale and book value of tangible fixed assets, including losses and damages, capital expenditures for all tangible fixed assets by mode of acquisition, capital expenditures and book value of intangible assets, total assets, capacity utilization, inventory, branches and plants owned or controlled. Last step, submit. Kindly tick the checkbox at the last page to confirm completion of the questionnaire. In case you did not tick the said checkbox, your report will appear as incomplete in the ASPBI generated report on online submission. A confirmation email will be sent to your registered email address. Please be advised that instructions on how to accomplish the online questionnaire can be found in page 2 of the physical questionnaire. Thank you for accomplishing the online questionnaire. Or for further inquiries about ASPBI, please feel free to contact us. Again, we greatly appreciate your participation in this undertaking and for keeping on support the endeavors of PSA. Thank you.
All right, so that was the presentation how to accomplish the ASPBI questionnaire online. We hope that our sample establishment will register its establishment sa ating online para mas madali po yung ating transaction. Okay, let's proceed with the next part of our forum, and that would be the open forum. If you have questions, please state any question or any inquiry about the presentation 2020 ASPBI result, please raise your hand and state your name and from what establishment or agency are you from for our proper documentation. So for us to start, the floor is open for any question or inquiry. Please raise your hand kung sino po yung may question. Our apologies for the technical problem. Okay. So meron po ba tayong tanong? Especially sa ating mga participants coming from the establishment and media.
Sige na, para po. Kasi walang ikaw na.
Anyone? Yes, ma'am. You're recognized. From what agency po?
Yes, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Abdul Karim from 91.9 SFM, Kinabawan, reporter, field reporter and news correspondent and ADLS TV News. My question is, magiging po kami ng inyong puro-puro. Ano ba ang the best solution dahil sa mga panahon ito ay talagang tumataas lalo yung presyo ng ating mga sibuyas, ano? Dito sa atin, almost 600. Samantala sa Luzon, nasa 100 plus. So, ano po yung magandang solusyon nito upang hindi tayo, due to the scarcity of the products, paano po ito masolusyonan? Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Anyone from our panelists?
Thank you so much for that question. I guess about small, micro, and medium enterprises. But anyway, the prices of that commodity it is eventually known to be nationwide issue, no? Ang sibuyas na yan. But the PHA is tasked, of course, to monitor the price, but not to regulate again. There is an agency for that. As much as possible, regulation is for them. Hindi po natin siya hawak regulations ng prices. But again, as we observe personally, the law of supply and demand really parang nakikita natin doon. Kasi ang sitwasyon natin ngayon is kulang talaga yung supply ng sibuyas, and namomonitor natin sa mga presyohan in Metro Manila is merong suggested retail price ang DTI that is about 300 pesos, but magtataka tayo pagdating dito is about 500 to 600 pesos na per kilo ng ating sibuyas. As of last na namalingki ako kahapon. So yun yung presyohan natin dito. So of course merong mga value added, including mga pamasahe, etc. But going back to puro-puro kung paano ma-regulate, we don't have the mandate na ma-regulate natin yung mga prices ng mga ganyang bagay. Only then, the PHA is tasked again to monitor the prices. Especially this thing are contributor to our inflation rate. Wherein magkakaroon din tayo ng press con about inflation rate by the time comes. Pag matapos na yung computation, maglabas ng computation ng December inflation rate. So, yun yung about sa sibuyas. About dito sa ating forum, as you know, gusto natin i-lemanize yung language. As a economist or as investor, ang pinaka-purpose nito is, alam ko, kung halimbawa akong investor, alam ko kung saan ako pupuntang mabilis ako makakakita. yan tayo nag-example, is yung ating revenue, pag nag-spend ka ng 1 peso, saan doon sa mga major group na yon, ang sectors. Okay na tayo doon sa question niyo, ma'am? Na to sum it up, wala kaming regulatory power about sa increase and decrease of the prices in the market. Okay. So, okay, going back dito. Para lubos natin maintindihan, no? Yun na lang sabi ko is meron tayong, this would give us a way, no, or indicator kung saan tayo pupunta na invest natin ang tama yung ating pera. Based on this survey results in 2020, ang nag-boom is yung sa ating small enterprises, wherein pag mag-invest ka ng 100 yung ating peso. Hopefully nabigyan kayo ng tamang direction, especially sa mga establishment owners, kung ano ang nagbo-boom ngayon. Nagbo-boom last 2020, and pwede rin mag-boom siya in the near future. For instance, yung doon sa agriculture sector, no, pag napansin nyo ang revenue is mataas, ano ang nagiging contributor no bakit tumaas ang sa agriculture sector when it comes to revenue? No. Practically, ang ating mga fertilizers, di hamak na mas mabilis ang pagtaas. Yung mga ganong application nito sa ating day-to-day na na-observe sa market. For instance, ang ating small enterprises wherein composed of at least 1 to 9 na empleyado. Ito yung mga ito yung pwedeng nasa mga tabi-tabing tindahan na kung napapansin niyo kahit na yung pagbilihin mo sa store is 5 pesos, pagbilihin mo doon is nasa mga 7 or 8 pesos, napakalaking value added. So kaya sila nagtaas, no, mataas masyado. And one thing na bumaba yung ating industries, no, for instance, services ang bumaba, no, because of the pandemic. Note that in 2020 ang daming mga nag-close na mga tindahan, but in spite of that nag-close, tumaas ang ating revenue in the medium enterprises. Ibig sabihin, at sa good indicator that we in the BARMM, no, are really masunurin sa pagbayad ng ating buwis, no? Kaya tumaas ang ating revenue. If you notice, ang ating expenses or ang ating revenue per peso, no, in 2019 and 2020 is tumaas pa lalo. So it's a good indicator in our economy, no, na meron tayong, of course, nandiyan ang ating inflation, no, napatataas din. If you invest 1 peso in 2019, it would again earn, no, 1.06. Ibig sabihin nito, pag meron kang 100 peso noong 2019 na ini-invest, kikita ka ng 3 pesos noong 2019. Pagdating ng 2020, pag meron kang 100 pesos, kikita ka ng 6 pesos. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng ating presentation. So, gusto man namin i-lemonize, pero kasi masyadong pero yun yung interpretation ng aming presentations. So, piso-piso lang ito, pero pagdating sa milyones, pag meron kang 1 million in 2019, i-invest, karoon ka ng 300,000. Now, in 2020, pag i-invest mo siya, meron kang 600,000. Or, 60,000. So, ganun siya in-interpret itong mga presentations ng ating chief. No? Now, nagsasabi ko sa inyo, yung revenue per peso expenses, for instance, in by broad industry, that is 3 major industries, the agriculture industry and services. Pansinin niyo, agriculture have the highest revenue per peso expense, which is 1.18 pesos. No? So, pag nagkaroon ka ng, bakit kaya, no, sa agriculture siya mas mataas? Magkano ba ang bayaran natin ngayon sa pagpa-rotavator, pagpa-tractor, no? And magkano ba ang bayaran natin ngayon pagdating sa taniman, sa harvesting? Di hamak na kung sino yung farmer sa atin, mas nag-increase yung mga babayaran. Magkano ba ngayon ang complete fertilizer? Magkano ba ngayon ang potas, amopos, mga ganong mga klaseng fertilizers, di habang na tumaas sila sa agriculture, na mas mabilis ang pagtaas kaysa sa mga industry natin. Ngayon sa industry, andyan yung accommodations, yung iba nga nag-close, no? And then nag-follow ang services, ang pag-repair ng ating mga motor, ang masahista, and so on. So, mas tumaas ito ng di hamak kaysa sa ating industry. So, yun po yung some of the laymanized term when it comes to the presentations. I hope na bigyan namin kayo ng enlightenment on some figures. If you want more layman's term on this, we are able to sorry, wala akong time this afternoon, but our chief is dito for some clarifications kung merong hindi naintindihan doon sa presentations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. I hope we have answered your questions. So, any more question po? Any clarifications from our participants?
Sir, meron lang po ako karagdagang katanungan, no? For clarification, ilang porsyento po yung mga paid employer and employees, I mean, paid employees and unpaid employees sa ating statistical survey? Maraming salamat.
Percentage, no? Percentage. Okay. The total paid employees as of 2020 is the total employees as of 2020 is about 12,829 workers. So ang paid employees natin dito is 94.2%, and the unpaid is of course 5.8%. And when it comes to micro, small, and medium enterprises, no, ang ating total employment for the year 2020 for the medium is about 7.7%. For the small is about 60.1%. So ibig sabihin, mas marami employment natin doon sa mga small, no, na enterprises. And for the micro, yung 1 to 9, ang employment niya is about 17.1% or 2,195 personnel. And sa large is about 15.1% lang, no, ang kanilang employment. So yan yung kabuuan ng ating 2020 ASPBI employment status. Thank you.
All right. Is there any more? So we will be entertaining one last question from sir. You're recognized. Kindly state your name po and from what agency are you from?
Okay ma'am, thank you. I'm Alimuddin Kadatuan, correspondent po ng 1.3 Max FM. Dito po sa isa dito is pinag-uusapan yung annual survey of the of Philippine business and industry. Clarification po, gaano po karami yung naka-register na business? Meron po ba kayong database? At yung sa overall po, paano po malalaman kung ilan po ba ang mga hindi pa naka-register ng mga businessman? Thank you po.
Okay, for the number of establishments, 2019 versus 2020, the number of establishments in 2019, we have 836. And in 2020, we have 764 establishments in the former sector of the economy. And this means a decrease of about 8.6% ang ating establishment. But as to the registrations of each establishment, the PSA has no data on this one because ang MTIT and the business sector of each municipality, sila yung may hawak nun. So, kami, doon lang sa samples namin ang aming namumonitor. Within BARMM? Within BARMM. Tapos itong sinasabi ko, sample ito. Hindi ito registered na covered lahat, hindi. Kasi sample lang itong aming.
Kaya in addition to the question, sa PSA, we will be having updating of the list of establishment this year. So, covering all qualified establishment will be collected. So, by this year, magkakaroon ng update list of establishment na lahat qualified to be listed establishment ay aming i-gather.
Thank you very much, CSS of Maguindanao for the inputs. No, yeah, we are getting toward that program or activity. This is also to take the opportunity, na manawagan kami doon sa mga establishments to welcome our staff, na magpunta doon sa inyong establishment para mailista ulit yung inyong establishment so that we can have accurate data. And then mabigyan natin ng guide yung ating mga policy makers, ang ating mga lawmakers na magkaroon ng magandang plano, accurate na plano patungkol doon sa ating economic performance in BARMM. So again, magkakaroon kami ng updating. Sabihin, yung mga hindi nakalista noon, susuyurin uli ni PSA para ilista uli yung mga qualified na establishments, para masama kayo doon sa aming listahan, lahat-lahat ng listahan, and doon kami magdodraw ng sample. Then, ito na nga siya yung aming isusurvey pagkatapos ng draw ng aming sample establishments. Thank you.
Okay, so that ends our open forum. So we are down for, sa online. Yes, sorry. Sa ating mga online participants, is there any question po? Wala rin sa chat? Wala rin sa Facebook? Okay. So that ends our open forum for this dissemination forum. So we are moving to the next part of our program, which will be the awarding of plaque of recognition for the top establishments of each provinces. So the only establishment that we will award physically is the Maguindanao province, but then yung ating mga provinces po that are joining online, we will also be awarding today. So, papakita lang po natin sa ating screen yung ating plaque of recognition. So, to start with, may I call in Sir Akan D Tula to be assisted by our Chief Statistical Specialist, Sir Mahmur H, and the OIC Chief Administrative Officer, Ma'am Noronisa Macadadaya, for the awarding of plaque of recognition. Then afterwards of the plaque of recognition, we will be awarding also the certificate of appreciation through the